What is going on, YouTube? This is Luke with Endless Entrepreneurs, just coming to you guys with another video. If you are new to my channel, I am a part-time eBay seller, a full-time corporate finance analyst. I build my business in my spare time, specialize in men's clothing, a little bit of women's, a little bit of shoes. Kind of been growing my niche quite a bit over the last few years. And tonight's video, if you're just finding my channel for the first time, is going to be designed and designated for covering what I believe are my favorite top 10 brands that are not so common within dress shirts to sell on eBay. I've had quite a few requests of late to come out with different videos, my favorite brands to sell and each of the niches I sell in. And, that's a common way to learn, especially people who are just getting started and want to expand their brand knowledge. It's one of the best ways to learn. So I will be bringing that to you guys tonight. I am live. If you're watching this later, it is August 25th, about 9:30 p.m. So I was pretty excited about this video just because when I was doing it, I was researching and it kind of jogged my memory of some brands I haven't really found in a while, but I used to find or find every so often. They're just kind of a little more rare. And it's funny, you kind of get into this, I don't know, this mindset of the stuff you find all the time. And it's just good to refresh with some of the less common brands that can kind of be home runs or, just kind of middle of the road brand. And it's good to expand and just give yourself an opportunity to source more and more. So hopefully this video will be helpful to you. I am going to jump right in and cover the 10 here. I'm going to share my screen here in a minute. Just want to check the chat, make sure everyone can hear me all right. Looks like I am doing good. So I'm going to jump right in. I will have some Q&A at the end, or people can share some brands that they have that I didn't cover at the end as well. But I'm going to jump in and share my screen right now. All right. So brand number one is Bonobos. And this is a newer brand that I've started to find probably in the last, I don't know, I'd say last like 2.5 months. It's been a lot more prevalent. Not sure exactly where it's based out of. I believe it's more of a West Coast brand. But in either case, it sells pretty well in almost all genres it comes out in. I've sold it in dress pants, jeans, dress shirts, short sleeve shirts, and it just seems to do well for me. I'm going to scroll through on here. As you can see, it's kind of like that bread and butter, and these aren't like going to bring you $100 profit, but they sell for me pretty steadily above $25 without much of a problem. And as you can see here, we're scrolling down the first page. Everything is pretty much right around that 30 point with shipping. Even getting down here, we're getting like at 26, 25, but definitely like a bread and butter type item. Without a doubt, I enjoy finding it. It seems to move very fast for me. They don't sit that long, which is another thing I like about them. You can see now we're getting down to the page, a little above 20, $24.99. This one's $19.99. So, getting a little lower, but if you're patient with them, they're kind of a hotter item, so they're moving a lot quicker. So it's not a common one, and that's why I wanted to share it. And pick it is not one that everyone necessarily knows about, and not one that I find all the time, but it's definitely a good one to expand your base with and just give you more opportunity. And guys, just for future, if you ever want to do research and you're kind of newer to eBay, using this sold listings feature on the left-hand side here, you click sold listings and, search for whatever you're looking for and pick used condition. You can really get a good idea for what the brand sells for. How many of them are out there, how many have been selling of late, what prices to put your items at. So this is just something I like to do every now and then to keep my brands fresh and just kind of keep my mind sharp. So this next one's actually one of my favorites just all around for the last couple of years. It's just held its value so well. It's Eaton of Sweden. I probably find 2 or 3 of these a quarter, maybe. Probably one per month, maybe. I find the contemporary fit quite a bit. And let me show you what the tag looks like here. But these are just for a couple of years now. I can remember maybe 3 years ago starting to find these for the first time, and they were selling for $45, $50, $60, $70. And it's like they just seem to have held their value really, really well. That's the typical tag you'll find. It's one of the newer tags. There are some older vintage type tags you'll find, but typically this is the one I find, and I find a lot of the contemporary fit. Normally it has the 2 different sizes, the European size and the US size. And they're just a really nice quality shirt. You'll pick it up off the rack and right away you'll realize that it's high quality and that it definitely has some value. But put that one in the memory bank for sure. And I'll just do a quick scroll here to show you guys how well the pricing does. And I'm scrolling fast here, but we're still well above $40 with shipping. 45, 45. That's like 43. And so you can see I'm going to scroll way down so you guys can see here. So I'm pretty far down the page, and I'm still at, these ones are going for $24.99, which I think is really low. I mean, I don't think I'd ever sell one for under $30. I don't think I've ever sold one for under $30, actually, now that I think about it. I typically get between 40 and 50 for the contemporary fits without any problem. So definitely put that tag in your memory bank. All right, move on to the third one. This is one, again, I think it's a more recent brand. I've seen commercials for it more of late and a lot more ads online, but it's called Untuck It. And I first found one of these probably maybe 4 months ago. I found it actually in North Charlotte. And let me see if I can show you guys the tag here. And, you know, kind of the whole premise behind this brand was that, you know, for men wearing button front shirts, they wanted to be able to wear them untucked and it look okay. And a lot of the problems with standard dress shirts is they're so long for the tuck so they can get a decent tuck that when you wear them untucked, they just look like crap. And usually they're really baggy or really wide, or me, like I have kind of a barreled chest, so they kind of just hang off me like a dress. So actually I do like this brand. I did try on the couple I had and they fit really comfortably. But usually they have that little, like, I don't know, what do you want to call it, like triangle there at the bottom. And this is the tag. It usually has that big, bold red outline. So definitely pick these up. They are holding their value very, very well right now. I got 45 for one and 55 for the other of the two that I have found. And as you can see, I'm scrolling down here. We're, you know, in that firm, like high 30s, low 40s range without much of a problem here. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. And I definitely think it's a newer brand, so I think it should become more and more prevalent. I'm sure the market will come down a bit on it, but it seems to have taken hold for a newer brand in the marketplace. So here's number 4, Hawes and Curtis. And, you know, this is, I believe, and I don't want to misstate it here, but I believe it's kind of in that Charles Tyrwhitt type line. I think there's some similarities there for sure with the tag and the makers, and some of the chat can clarify maybe for me. I didn't do a ton of research on it. I just know that it sells decently, and you know, it's not a home run item, but when I find them, they sell, and they sell for, you know, 25 to 30 bucks pretty steadily for me. The solds are kind of up and down here, as you can see, but I've never had an issue. And this is really funny. So this right here is my listing. I actually just sold this like 2 days ago. Is it the 22nd? Yeah, 3 days ago. And this was, I had this one sitting for quite a while. I think it was because it's French cuff. French cuff just isn't as hot as it used to be. French cuffs used to sell a lot better than standard. Now it seems like standard sells better than French cuff. But in either case, I can tell this is one of my really old listings from the white background. And so I was happy to move that. And as you can see, it still holds its value even after a couple of years of being up. I think it was up for like 24 months probably at least. But it's just a brand that I always pick up. I don't even think twice about it as long as there's not any flaws, and it does decent for me. Kind of that stable, you know, $25 to $30 range. All right, number 5, we have Barber. I think that's how you pronounce it. And again, it's just kind of like one of those niche brands. It used to be a lot stronger of a brand. I remember it selling for a lot better, a lot higher. If you can find their wool blend shirts, like wool and cotton blend, heavier button fronts, they seem to do really well for me. And as you can see the solds here, as you scroll down, they look pretty pitiful. And sometimes it boggles my mind when I do the research here because it's almost deceiving. Like I've never had a problem selling one of these for less than $25. Like $25 to $30, I can get all day for these. And it's funny because you see as you scroll up here, it's like, and this is sometimes they do have collaborations. By the way, I found a Barber Steve McQueen collaboration. It was a pearl snap that sold really well. But you look right here, right? Like $38.50, $3.99 shipping. Yeah, they may have taken the best offer. Who knows? But like that $30 price range is very achievable with this brand. And it's just funny to me when I look and see like how far it drops off here in the solds. But definitely, it's one I would pick up without a doubt, unless I don't have them sorted. No, I do have it sorted. So yeah. But Barber, definitely be on the lookout for that. I'm going to check my chat right now just to make sure that everything is good here. I think that – so Ladin just gave a super chat. And sorry I missed that, Ladin, but thank you very much for the support. $4 super chat there. We appreciate it. Looks like we got Ronnie in the house. We got Ronnie is man, I'll tell you what, he is a clothing guru. I will use that word. His brand knowledge is just absurd. Same with Krillin in the chat. Hey, guys, what's going on? I'm going to flip back. I want to get through these last 5, and then I'll talk and do a little Q&A at the end. So this is Paul Smith, and I think I saw someone chatting about this in the chat there. So I've only found this brand once, which is weird. I mean, not weird. It's just I always find it strange that I can sell clothing for so long, and some brands I've just only found once or twice, like Keaton or Keaton, however you pronounce it. I've only found that once. But here's Paul Smith. The one I did have sold very fast. I do remember. Here is your tag for you. Paul Smith London. This one's just kind of like a bright button front. And it's funny, I was going through the solds here, and it looks like the same seller is selling a ton of these. And they're all used. And they've got kind of, I don't know if it's a box or what they're using in the background, or if they're just writing it on chalk. That might be the way they list their clothing, which is actually pretty cool. But you can see I'm scrolling down here. We're staying in the 40s, pretty solid with shipping. A lot of international buys here, a lot of international shipping, a lot from the UK. So definitely be on the lookout for. Probably not a very common one that you're going to find all the time, but definitely one to keep in your memory bank for when you do find it. Those one-off times, it will bring a really good profit for you. All right, this is one that I actually have never found before. I've heard people talk about it in other videos. I've seen it when I've done my research, and so I just wanted to share it because it's either the part of the country I'm in or maybe I don't really know, but I know that I haven't found it. I know that it sells really well. Mizzen in Maine. Let me see if I can get you a tag here. It looks like this picture's got a decent one. It really is one to keep an eye out for. I hope that I find it someday. Here is the tag for it. And I don't know if this is a newer brand or a recent, or if it's an older luxury type brand. Here's some pictures. Those are decent pictures too. So definitely be on the lookout for this one. I'm going to scroll for you guys here. We're in the high 80s, low 90s here. This is used, all used stuff. We're getting down to 65, 70 as we keep scrolling. But I'm on the all the way on the bottom of the first page. I mean, I'm just scrolling as far as I can. I'm still at $46, $45 used. Now we're getting down to 40. I mean, clearly you can see you're not going to lose picking this brand up. So I am excited for the day I finally find it. But I thought I'd share it with you because I think it's a not so common one that you find all the time, but definitely one that you want to learn. I'm not even going to try to, I'm going to try to pronounce it, but it's going to be wrong. Is it? I'm not going to pronounce it. Nope, not going to do it. Krillin will grill me anyways in the chat for it. So, but this is one, you can read it for yourself right here. This red tag, again, another one I haven't found. I've heard a lot of the resellers who have found it. I have not been that lucky to do that. As you can see, scrolling down, it stays pretty hot without much of an issue. And there's the white tag versus the red tags. Let me show you one of each. Someday, there's some brands that are just kind of like the unicorn for me. Just cannot find them. So there you go. And let's show you the white tag as well. All right. Sorry, bear with me for a second here. And there is your white one. And this one's a collaboration with Neiman Marcus. So definitely one that you should know. You're probably not gonna find it all the time, but definitely one. Even if you find it a couple times a year, it's worth it just to know it because the profit's so good. We got 3 more left, guys, and then we'll switch gears into some Q&A. So Charvet, I believe is how you pronounce this. I have found one of these ever in my career, and it had a stain on it, I do recall, so I sold it for half price, and it still sold without much of a problem. It wasn't a huge stain. It was a small ink mark on one of the cuffs, but definitely one to be on the lookout for. As you can see here, we are in the 60s and 50s, so used without too much of a problem. Doesn't, again, not a common one that I found. I'd be curious in the chat if people find this more common in other areas of the country versus where I am in Charlotte, North Carolina. But as you can see, scrolling down here, it does well, and you should pick it up. I'm just actually going to peek in the chat here. Oh, I knew it could see Krillin with his $2 super chat. So appreciate it, Krillin. I appreciate the support, but I feel like Krillin super chats just so he can correct me with the pronunciation. So Isaiah, I don't know. I'm still butchering that, and you gave me the phonetics there. But it's funny. So Ronnie's saying every Charvet he's ever found has been flawed as well. Yeah. I find a lot, too, of those high-end ones. It's unless someone loses a bunch of weight or something, typically – oh, whoops. I have duplication here, don't I? Did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, just have a duplication. All right, cool. I was like, uh-oh. But yeah, any of the really high-end stuff, I find a lot of times has flaws because people just wear it until they can't wear it anymore and then donate it. It seems especially on the men's side, unless they cleaned out an estate, or someone lost a bunch of weight or gained a bunch of weight or whatever and had to donate it because it didn't fit. So here's the last one. And this, some of you might know, some of you might not. I've only found a couple of them. They've sold a little slower for me, not like super fast, but when they have sold, it's been for a good profit. And that's Etro Milano. This one's been around for a while. It's an Italian brand and kind of known for the flip cuff crazy designs too. Here's a really good tag. I'll picture the tag for you. I've sold two. One was, I remember I took it off for like 35 bucks. I had it for a while. And then the other one sold for like 45-ish. And there's your tag. So definitely be on the lookout for it. I mean, it still has a lot of value. It still is very relevant. It's still a desirable brand. And if you're a longer tail clothing seller, it's fine to, hold on to it for a while, obviously, to get that. But, easily you're going to get over 30 bucks for it. You're not going to have much of a problem with that. Probably closer to 40 if it's a cool pattern or good size or good design. And you can see I'm, halfway down the page here. We're still in the high 20s. So, decent one to pick up without a doubt. So that's my 10 for you guys. There are obviously hundreds and hundreds of brands that we could go over, but I just tried to pick 10 that weren't so common to share. I always get excited doing research on Friday because Saturday is one of my biggest thrifting days. So it's awesome. Actually, I'm probably going to do this every Friday and just pick a different niche or different idea because I've been in a lot of requests for this type of video. And it'll help me because it's like I get to kind of educate myself before I go out and thrift all day tomorrow. So it gets some of those other brands I don't think about all the time fresh in my head. And I don't know, that law of attraction thing. I tell you what, I research a brand and I seem to find it almost right away. So it's just it's a good practice to have, especially in the eBay business. Let me just scroll through chat here. If you have any questions, drop them in. Or if you just want to talk about brands I didn't mention, drop them in the chat. I mean, we all can benefit from learning from, good ones to be on the lookout for. Edison must be financial analyst wearing those shirts. The highest end I find is Brooks Brothers. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'll tell you what, us financial analysts, I keep it as cheap as I can be. I sit behind a computer all day. I don't get a ton of interaction except with some salespeople every now and then. Let's see. Yeah, and someone's saying that Etro Milano shirts have been selling slow for them of late. And I agree. I'm not saying it's a fast mover. I just have a completely long tail approach to clothing. And if it takes me 6 months to sell a dress shirt at $40, I'm pretty okay with that if I only paid $4 for it or, whatever you might have paid. So to me, it's still worth picking them up. Ronnie, any brands I'm leaving off here? He's in the chat. Feel free to drop some of your favorite ones. I almost put Tom Ford in there. I've never found it, though. And I don't know a ton about it, but definitely has a lot of really, really good returns. Circle S Suits. I have not heard of Circle S before. I'm going to share my screen again here and look it up. I don't mind looking them up on the spot, see what we got here. Uh-oh, computer. Circle a suit? A Western suit? Interesting. So there's like a vintage Western. So they've got kind of like the, oh, those are cool. I've never found one of those. But it looks like they sell pretty decent. Oh, they drop off a bit here. So it looks like the cool pattern ones up here and probably a good material. Yeah, it looks like if you sit on them, there's not a ton of them out there. Looks like this gray with the brown is kind of that vintage feel. I bet you that sells really well. That's probably very desirable. Cool. Good recommendation there. Oh, thanks, Krellin, for the super chat again there. He's saying, why thrift on Saturday? No love for Loro Piana. No, Loro Piana is good, but I mean, I feel like that's kind of a blanket one that's paired with a lot of brands all the time. So I was trying to give like some really specific ones. Oh, Billy Reed. Yeah, that's another one. Billy Reed moves really slow for me, but it does sell, at least in my experience. And Krillin, why not thrift on Saturdays? I love thrifting Saturdays. I work full time, so Saturdays is like Shannon's actually at our bachelorette party all weekend, so I'm by myself. It's me and Thor. I'm probably gonna get a ton of thrifting done. I've been listing all night. Took a quick run to the grocery store so I didn't eat terrible all weekend while she was gone, and decided to do this video. And actually, I'm going to go back and list some more. I can actually stay up and list, and I'm pretty excited. It's like it stinks to not have her here. Definitely miss having her here, but I also will get a lot of stuff done. I see some basketball comments in here. I'm a huge basketball fan. The Irving and Isaiah Thomas trade is pretty crazy. How you feeling about that, Ronnie? Oh, Paul. Yeah, thank you, Ronnie. Paul and Shark. That's a great one too. I've only found one of those and it sold right away for me. Brioni. I didn't put Brioni in there because I thought that people might have known that more commonly. But yeah, Brioni is always good. Southern Tide's a great one. I find quite a bit of Southern Tide down here, being in the South. And no pun on the Southern Tide, but it just seems to be a common brand down here. I find a lot of vineyard vines too. But yeah, that Irving trade is pretty nuts. I'm not going to repeat what Ronnie said in the chat, but Ronnie doesn't have a lot of love for the Cavs. So I actually think it was a bad trade for the Celtics. Just saying. I don't know. I don't think that disposition of demanding to be traded like that is a real good thing to have in your clubhouse. And I think Isaiah Thomas could be the perfect fit for the Cavs. I think it may come back to bite him in the butt. We'll see, though. Brunello Cuccinelli, I think is how you pronounce that, Ronnie's saying. He's got a couple other in the chat that you should read. Krillin just asked why I don't try some estate sales. Where do you think you are going to find top brands? That's a great point, Krillin. So the estate sales around here are hit or miss. I've been to a bunch. I've had really bad luck, though, with a lot of like musty smelling clothing that I just can't get that smell out. And so I've kind of stayed away from it. Also, our Goodwills here, I mean, honestly, our Goodwills are just so good. Like, our Goodwills are fantastic. I find 25 to 30 items in every retail store I walk into nowadays without much effort. So it's just like, if I can hit 5 or 6 Goodwills on a Saturday and just kill it, I have 200 items to list for the next 2 weeks, and it's just like it's kind of a no-brainer. Whereas the estate sales, I'm driving around, popping around, might find some, might not find anything. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, Krillin, and I definitely need to venture out and do that more for sure, especially because the pricing's even better a lot of times. Moz and Hoffman, someone said. I haven't heard of that. Yeah, Q, you got to come on down, man. Well, come on up, I guess, in Texas. Our Goodwills look pretty solid, no doubt about it. Thomas says I go to the higher end estate sales, just have them give me a low number on all the clothes. Thomas, are you saying you just offer to buy all the clothing? I've thought about that before, of literally just going to a estate sale company and just being like, hey, if I buy all your clothing tomorrow morning, what price will you give me? I'll clean out it all. Because at the end of the day, they just want to move it. Ronnie's saying T.I. was going to be gone after the year. Age that hip issue and a max deal. Yeah. I agree with you, Ronnie. I mean, you know what you're getting with Kyrie, right? You're going to get a pure scorer who is a proven winner, but he's also a proven disappearer. So it's just kind of like, but yeah, you needed the superstar. I agree with you. Thomas, that's a really, really good idea. Do you call him ahead of time, Thomas? Do you call him like the day before or a couple days before and just tell him you come get it all? Or like, how do you do that normally, if you don't mind me sharing? You're not late, Red Nickersons. You're right on time. Dom Seal says the question. He says, is it safe to say most made in Italy brands are a good bet, or at least looking up on the spot? I would actually say most of them are not. There are a ton of private label and just garbage brands that put made in Italy on everything. Usually the more obvious it is that it's made in Italy, if it says that all over, the more that it's going to be worth a lot less. Usually the items that it's not obvious they're made in Italy, but their quality end up being really good. Yeah, Krillin, that's what I thought. You kind of need to have a relationship ahead of time. But I feel like if you showed up near the first one at the estate sale, like right when it opened, and you just were like, hey, I literally will buy all your clothing right now what type of deal would you give me? I feel like they would do that for you. All right, guys. Well, it's been about a half hour, and this is about the time I wanted to get back to work. So if there's no other big questions, I am going to bounce and go do some more listings. Angela just asked if Nordstrom does well. Nordstrom does okay for dress shirts. I don't know. You're talking like 15 and 20 bucks for them used. If you can get them at the bins, like for 75 cents, like I think it's a decent bread and butter item. But my buy costs at $4. I kind of stay away from them. And Ronnie said Bianco Brioni, private labeling at its best. Yeah, everyone like just tries to knock off those. I don't know, anything Ellie or Oni or anything like that. They kind of just spin the name, and it's never actually Italian. Thomas said, I go low profile. Can you give me a number? Makes sense. Krillin said, Luke, that really works. They can charge more to the people who buy for themselves. Yeah, that's true. Talking about estate sales still there. Ray just said, hey, Luke, just got on and you're about to quit. Yeah, happy listening. Yeah, need to get back to work, guys. Definitely wanted to do this. Yeah, Thomas, I need to start working that and do better about that because I'd like to be able to buy in bigger quantities like that and not have to always single source stuff. All right, guys, I really am going to bounce. It is 10 o'clock. Have an awesome Friday night. Hope you guys have had a great week. August is almost about to come to a close. Hopefully you get all those last-minute sales in over the next week and boost up that August total. And fourth quarter is just around the corner, so let's just keep that grind on. And I will see everyone tomorrow. I'm not sure what video I'm going to do tomorrow. Probably a sales update since I haven't done one in quite a while. Or actually, no, I take that back. I'll probably do a live haul video tomorrow since I'm in a thrift all day. It'll probably be a pretty big haul. And then Sunday we'll be back in action with Chris and I's show on Sunday evening. Hi, Tanya. Have a great night, everyone, and we will talk soon.